Time and time alone is probably the greatest metric when considering any kind of book promotion results or any success as an author in general. And I'll happily admit, it has been quite a while since my last video entry laid out BookBub and everything about securing my 5th featured deal. And now I'm back from the future, or something like that, to lay out the results of that featured deal. This won't be a particularly long video, and if you want more detail about the intricacies of BookBub, then do check out the previous video. And so, the main reason why I've taken so long to come back is because in all that time between now and that featured deal, good results were and still are rolling in. But I think it's time to explore all the things to do with my 5th featured deal. So let us dive in and try to answer the question, is a BookBub featured deal worthwhile? Number 1. The day of the deal. I think one of the big reasons many of you are here is to see if this featured deal pulled in good numbers. And that's where we're going to start. So just to briefly recap, my debut novel, Open Evening, was featured by BookBub via a free-to-download promotion of the digital version in late February, in all territories BookBub offer in the horror genre. I will add that every other book in the Order of the Following series was discounted in digital to 99 cents or equivalent. And so, here are the numbers. For the time it was free, 1 day, 24 hours, Open Evening was downloaded 4,539 times for free, which is classed as good numbers for me. I mean, anything over kind of 3,000 downloads for me is a promo worth doing, and it's something I consider a success. Having that many readers with my digital book in their hand is a big win. Now, orbiting that free promo was the wider Order of the Following series, which includes 4 more titles, which are all discounted in digital on the day at 99 cents. And 210 paid downloads came in on that day. The most paid sales were for Cemetery House, which is the most visually obviously looking sequel to Open Evening, and probably stood out the most on the Amazon product page, and so people grabbed it in good numbers with 58 downloads. But 2 other titles in that series also crossed 50 downloads for that day. A good day and all, a very good day. But as I said, time is the greatest metric. So what happened over time after the featured deal? What have I been doing in all this time? Well, quite simply, I've just been watching the results come in. Number 2, detailed results. Sustained sales. So the day after the deal, a further 84 paid sales came in, and now this included Open Evening, which was no longer free, but discounted. So paid sales are coming in for the book that was featured now. What followed was several days of paid sales leading into March. As a reference, my paid sales for February, by the end of the month, were 305 in total. My personal best ever sales for a single month is around 500 or so. So crossing that 300 threshold for me is a rare event. For March, sales were relatively consistent and hit a total of 24 paid full price sales, which is greater than my usual average of around 11 in recent times. And this is where the bread and butter of royalties come from. We will get to royalties soon, but if you want to earn back money from a promotion, the best way to do so is to sell full price books. And so February and March also became a huge milestone for me, as it was the month I finally crossed 60,000 units sold. But now let us look at a rather impressive run of Kemp page reads. Now, having all 5 books in my Order of the Following series enrolled in Kindle Unlimited during the time of the promo has worked out to be rather lucrative, with page reads coming in every day since the promo, and bringing in royalties also. It could only be $1 or $2 a day, but over time and sustained time, this works back the money that you have spent on the promotion. We'll get to money in a moment, but first let us look at the ratings and reviews that have come in since Open Evening was featured. As you can see, it's quite a jump, especially for Open Evening. And ratings for the other titles are still trickling in, and this is one of the major advantages of securing a featured deal with BookBub. Most readers who are signed up to their mailing lists are also readers who rate or review books actively, which is a huge deal for authors, as reviews are one of our greatest struggles. They are gold to us, and shout out to anyone who does leave book reviews. Number 3, has it been worthwhile? The numbers I reached on the day of the deal and for some time afterwards have given my year a great boost, and possibly one of the best starts I've had in quite a while. For books that are aging and not having any new releases since 2022, I'm incredibly satisfied with these results, and have ultimately been driven by the fact that I haven't given up. I may have slowed down or turned my hand to other creativity instead of book writing, but the releases I do have out there still sell when thrown in front of a major audience. But what about cold hard numbers? What about money? And as authors, it is okay to make money and expect to be paid fairly. After all, some of you may decide to pass on BookBub because of the price and the risk of not making the expense back. So the biggest question I have saved until last, has it been financially worthwhile? Let us firstly look at the cost. This featured deal for me cost $248, and so far, and at the time of recording this video, my royalties since that featured deal have been $221, which to me is pretty good and not far off covering the whole cost of the deal. With sales and Kemp page reads still coming in, I will probably have the cost of this deal covered in another month or so. But to me, success is not just defined by money. While I do believe in being paid fairly, the ratings and new readers, as well as returning readers, is what makes a BookBub featured deal worthwhile. And if you can bring in other books from your backlist or series, it will drive paid sales, as well as having your titles enrolled in Kindle Unlimited, which also helps big time too. And so, I shall finish how I started the last video about BookBub. Every single successful moment of my creative journey has happened because I never gave up. From these results, you can see how close I am to covering my costs and perhaps looking towards turning a profit, which will be more than likely in the coming weeks. Over many years, I have run several book promotions to huge losses, but now, after time and not giving up, the needle was turning towards something way more positive. It takes several books and plenty of trial and error, but if you can convince BookBub to feature your work, then to me, you're going in the right direction. Thank you for watching, and thank you for supporting me on here. I hope these results have helped a fellow author. Peace out, rock and roll, man.